सदन में महुआ मोइत्रा भाषण दे रही हैं। पीछे विराजमान है समाजवादी पार्टी के वरिष्ठ नेता अयोध्या के सांसद अवधेश प्रसाद। एकाग्रचित्त और एकदम ध्यान मग्न होकर महुआ को एक टक देखे जा रहे हैं। नजरें हैं कि हटने का नाम ही नहीं ले रही और शायद सांसद जी की इन बेसुध नजरों का ही कसूर है कि अब मोइत्रा के शानदार भाषण से ज्यादा चर्चा अवधेश प्रसाद की हो रही है। जब तक महुआ बोली, मजाल है कि अवधेश प्रसाद की नजरें कहीं इधर से उधर हो जाएं। महुआ पर फोकस्ड अवधेश की इन बेसुध नजरों को लेकर लोग तरह तरह की बातें कर रहे हैं। इस वीडियो पर एक इंटरनेट यूजर कमेंट करते हैं, सपा के अयोध्या नरेश तो बिल्कुल नजर ही नहीं हटा रहे, स्पीच में खो गए हैं चाचा एकदम। वहीं एक और सोशल मीडिया यूजर ने लिखा है, एकदम ठीक सीट मिली है इनको। तो जयप्रकाश शर्मा जी ने फरमाया है, देखा जो सुंदर चेहरा, मनमग्न हुआ, मन मुग्ध हुआ तेरा। तो जयंतो नाम के यूजर ने लिखा है कि चाचा की बढ़िया सीट आवंटित की गई है, अखिलेश यादव बेवजह परेशान हो रहे थे। ऐसे हजारों कमेंट्स की भरमार है सोशल मीडिया में। वैसे सांसद जी पर मनचली हरकतें करने के आरोप पहली बार नहीं लगे हैं। पहले भी इनके तमाम वीडियो को लोगों ने इनके चरित्र और रंगीन मिजाजी से जोड़कर पेश किया है। हाल ही में एक इंटरव्यू के दौरान वो अपने सहयोगी के गाल सहलाते भी दिखे थे। फिलहाल अयोध्या के सांसद के इस वीडियो और उसको लेकर लोगों की इस तरह की प्रतिक्रियाओं को लेकर आपका पर्सनल ओपिनियन क्या है? अपनी कीमती राय कमेंट बॉक्स के जरिए जरूर बताएं। साथ ही उत्तर प्रदेश से जुड़ी हर छोटी बड़ी खबर से खुद को अपडेट रखने के लिए वीके न्यूज उत्तर प्रदेश के साथ यूं ही जुड़े रहें। शुक्रिया, नमस्कार।
Honorable Chairperson, sir, Madam, I stand today on behalf of my party, the All India Trinamool Congress, to speak on the 75th anniversary of our Constitution. A Constitution that is not merely a book, but indeed the life and the soul of our nation. Almost 75 years ago to the day, on the 25th of November 1949, Baba Saheb Ambedkar reminded us, we must observe the caution which John Stuart Mill has given to all who are interested in the maintenance of democracy, namely, not to lay their liberties at the foot of even a great man or to trust him with powers which enable him to subvert their institutions. This nation was made by great men and women, but the real challenge before us today is ensuring that no one man should believe he's greater than the nation and that he is above the principles of the Constitution. Today, as I stand to participate in this historic debate, let me start with a short yet very apt nazm by the poet Dr. Hilal Farid. I trust the truth and the irony in his words will not be lost on anyone. मुबारक घड़ी है, कल सच धज कर, मेकअप रच कर, खूब जच कर, देखो उसका मंच पर आना, किताब संविधान की आंखों से लगाना और फरमाना, मैं शीश को झुकाकर इस किताब को मन में बसाकर ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूँ। रात ढलने दीजिए, दिल बदलने दीजिए, कल तलक ये बेवफा सितमगरों का बादशाह सब भूल जाएगा, नफरतें उगाएगा, दूरियां बढ़ाएगा, रोज संविधान की धज्जियां उड़ाएगा। मगर जो आज महफिल सजी है यही मानती है कि हीरो वही है, मुबारक घड़ी है। For the past 10 years, a very large number of people in this country have felt that Samvidhan khatre mein hai. Our constitution is in danger. As responsible public representatives, it is imperative that we actually put this to the test and check if this is just fear-mongering by us, as the ruling party would have us believe, or indeed is the constitution framework imperiled. As Professor Tarun Khaitan explains, there are three broad tests to check if the political executive is constitutionally accountable. Three checks for the country to remain democratic over time. So let's see how our country is faring on these three checks. The first is direct electoral accountability to the people. The second, there is accountability to the judiciary and other fourth branch institutions. And third, there is accountability rendered by the media and civil society as watchdogs of the citizenry at large. The ruling party has the right to influence policies over a large range of matters. You cannot take away that prerogative, but it cannot usurp power in a way that kills constitutional rights for the rest of us. This government, this ruling party, when confronted with this charge, uses only one defense. What about Mrs. Gandhi's emergency? Yes, that was a full frontal attack on democracy. No question about that. But we saw it for what it was. This government's modus operandi has been indirect and creeping, an incremental systemic assault for the past 10 years. The Modi government has consistently sought to erase the distinction between the party and the state by undermining and capturing all the mechanisms that seek executive accountability. It is killing our constitution by 1,000 cuts. I'm going to point out a few of the particularly bloody cuts. In the first test, democracies seek electoral accountability from the political executive. Measures such as electoral manipulation, voter disenfranchisement, biased campaign finance over time give the ruling party an unfair advantage. Voter disenfranchisement has reached epic proportions in India. In the past general elections, as well as in the recent by-polls in many BJP-ruled states, there were widespread, documented, caught on television cameras, caught on mobile phones, instances of voter suppression, from names missing to electoral rolls, by police used to threaten, beat and intimidate voters. We saw it in Rampur, we saw it in Sambal. Entire localities were being forced to stay home. Another aspect is the largely targeted exclusion of a hated minority by a prejudiced majoritarian state, creating a whole section of second-class citizens whose rights are less equal than others. This government brought in a discriminatory Citizenship Amendment Act that is openly violative of the fundamental right to equality before law. All the BJP state governments are competing with each other in bulldozer justice, demolishing homes, usually of minorities, without due process of law. I had to go to the Supreme Court to get a stay on the unconstitutional order of the UP government, demanding that minorities, that Muslims, put identifying markers on their eateries in shops during the Kawad Yatra. This is blatantly a violative of Article 15. Let us move on to campaign finance now. In 2014, both the BJP and the Congress were held liable for illegally accepting foreign contributions. In response, this government retrospectively amended the Foreign Contribution Regulatory Act, FCRA 2010, to narrow the definition of a foreign company and thereby remove the illegality with retrospective effect. This was done surreptitiously. The Act of 2010 was not amended by a separate bill. It was done via clauses slipped into the Finance Act 2016 and the Finance Act 2018. The amendments not only legalized foreign funding of political parties, they also created a new funding vehicle called electoral bonds. In 2017-18, the BJP got 97.7% of funds that were legalized by surreptitious changes to the campaign finance laws. When the electoral bond numbers came out earlier this year, we saw that the BJP had between 54 and 57% of the total amount raised in the past 6 years. This kind of unfair advantage for the BJP in campaign finance has created a very skewed playing field for the opposition in recent years. There's no denying this. The use of the government funds to promote BJP and to promote Modi ji's political branding in the run-up to the elections, Modi ji ki guarantee, Modi ji ka parivar, creates a media blitzkrieg that few smaller parties can match. For a free and fair electoral process, a neutral referee is necessary. So in addition to electoral accountability, our constitution lays down a second check of institutional accountability, where the government is scrutinized by the judiciary and by various fourth branch institutions, such as the Election Commission, the Vigilance Commission, a human rights watchdog, an anti-corruption body. The appointment mechanism of these fourth branch institutions, along with their functional autonomy, is what keeps them independent. What has this government done? This government willfully defied the spirit of the Supreme Court ruling on the Election Commission's independence by replacing the Chief Justice of India on the selection committee with a government-appointed minister. So you have a 2-to-1 majority.
वीके न्यूज उत्तर प्रदेश उत्तराखंड, सच का सारथी।